I don't like it. I don't like it, Brew. And you're the prime minister of vibes. But so here's my problem. First of all, I don't trust Sirianni to fix it because he hasn't shown an ability to do that in the past. And I thought that, right, you only play that card one time. I thought that was a real shot at Jalen Hurts. Yeah. And A.J. Brown just got paid again. He's on his third contract.
3 years, $96 million.
Right. He first-round pick contract, then the extension with Philly, then the new extension. So he's gotten paid. Historically, he has great numbers. He is still the number one target. And if you're the leader and one of the highest-paid guys on the team, one of the best players on the team, the message should be, defense is kicking ass. Saquon's awesome. I'm sure we'll get this rolling. We'll be fine. I know wide receivers are kind of allowed to act differently because, like, diva wide receivers become a thing. I hated that from a leader on the team.
Surprised by it? Wasn't he a pretty good player at his original team?
Yeah, but they traded him, which was
but didn't they trade? You think they traded him because they're like, we want to get rid of these good players? We're done with these good players.
He was doing this the year they got to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Once you get paid again, it's like okay. It's one thing if you're in a contract year, and it's like, man, this is costing me money. I just hate it.
I hated it too. And I do get his frustration. He had 4 targets yesterday. He's one of the top 5 receivers in the league, if not higher. And so and Jalen is not throwing the ball well.
No.
And he missed him several times. Like he doesn't have to be wide open to be open. And Jalen's not throwing him the ball like that. So I get the frustration, but my thing, coach, is do that at practice or in a meeting with Jalen and the coaches, but don't go public with it.
We don't have a ton of time here. We got to get to the root of this. Funk back?
No.
I wouldn't say, but this could lead to the funk coming back.
No, I think when you have, there's certain guys in locker rooms, and we've all been around this, where they act a certain way all the time, and the group is like, oh, that's so-and-so being so-and-so. And especially when you're winning, the group will usually say, okay, we get it, that's his, that's something we have to deal with, that's part of his personality. I don't think that's going to adversely affect the rest of the group unless they were losing.
But does it at all ring an alarm that this team was 10-1 last year, and you were hearing things like this, and then they absolutely self-immolated down the stretch?
I think the difference is right now Jalen Hurts has thrown 9 touchdowns and 1 interception in this 6-game.
Which is part of why, like him not throwing to guys when they're covered. And part of that one interception.
He's fixed that problem. They're running the ball really well. The defense is playing well. They're winning a bunch of games. I would imagine that the group collectively will be like, okay, we get his frustration, but that's him being him, as opposed to letting it all affect everybody else.
Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens, all fantastic. Never won a ring, though. And even Antonio Brown, those are 4 of the most diva receivers. And Antonio only started 4 games when he won it with Brady. So, like,
Funk is back, bro.
Back? No. I think I'm on Funk Watch.
Oh, okay, then that's a big deal. No. If you're on Funk Watch, that's news.
Okay. I'm excited to talk about this one. This is going to shock a lot of people. Ready for this? Everyone always thinks that I just hate Nick Wright. I 100% agree with everything Nick Wright said. There was not a single thing that he said that I disagree with. I agree with what Mangini's saying, though, that people are just accept that this is who AJ is when you're winning. They're just going to be like, all right, AJ. I don't think AJ has this huge control over the locker room so much necessarily. I think because there's still that true veteran presence of the players who are, born and bred Philadelphia Eagles, the Lane Johnsons, the Brandon Grahams and whatnot. Like, I think that is still there to the core, and that goes a long way, quite frankly. That really, really does. And then having such a great personality like Saquon Barkley, who's obviously new, but still just a great force and a great voice within that locker room. But I totally agree with what Nick is saying in terms of being the leader. And I actually praised AJ Brown earlier for saying all the right things and being the right leader. And yes, I pointed this out before, and a lot of Eagles fans got mad at me when I said A.J. Brown caused problems even along on their Super Bowl run. It was either the NFC Championship game or to get to the NFC Championship game, and they're winning, they're rolling, and A.J. is complaining and carrying on the sideline, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? You're either going to the NFC Championship game or you're going to the Super Bowl. Like, what are you complaining about? Stop. And that's a problem. And now that he got paid again, I went on a whole rant that, like, Howie Roseman probably talked to him, was like, hey, we're giving you all this money. We need you to be a leader. We need you to be a good soldier. And that's what it felt like. He was giving all the right answers. On-field interviews, locker room interviews. Like, he was saying all the right answers. And now he's, like, saying, oh, they don't throw enough and stuff like that. And it's like, you're winning. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs have won a lot of games and hugely important playoff Super Bowl games where they're only asking Mahomes to throw 25 times. And it works. It works really well. Tom Brady had to throw for like 100 times in his last playoff game against the Cowboys. He got rolled. So yeah, do you want to see the Eagles improve? Do you want to see A.J. Brown get more involved? Yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Do you want to see Jalen Hurts make better throws and not miss certain reads? Yes. But he's taking care of the ball. The Eagles are winning. Missing some throws right there would have blown this game wide open and would have been more dominant. But it's not why this game was close. Some of the execution was a little bit more poorly. And again, we could say the same thing about the Kansas City Chiefs. Just against the Chargers alone, we could look at that game. Patrick Mahomes technically missed a couple throws. He also made obviously some great throws, but he missed a couple throws. Where that if he hit those throws, then the game would have been even greater. They wouldn't have needed a last-minute field goal. So we can play that game. But if Patrick Mahomes turns the ball over and tries to force the ball to, say, Hopkins or someone or Kelsey, interception, that's the difference between them winning and losing. Just like if the Eagles turn the ball over in that moment or any moment, they lose. So what matters is winning. What matters is winning. Now, to be clear, I think, because again, you look at what Jalen Hurts was able to do in this run game as a whole, and it was really dynamic. I mean, Hurts had 8 carries for 59 yards rushing and really crucial pickups, really crucial conversions. There was 7 for 12 on third down, 3 for 3 in the red zone. Saquon Barkley, 20 carries for 124 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, and Gainwell was 3 carries for 26, 8.7 yards per carry. This is a run-first team, man. That's what this is right now. And it's working. And in terms of the whole funk watch, oh, God. I can't keep going in these circles, but it's just so different. The Eagles last year were fortunate to win those games that they did. They were fortunate. And they had a lot of problems. And then I don't even want to say they unraveled. It was just more like their luck kind of just ran out and everything caught up to them. This year, they're winning because they deserve to win. Because they are doing the little things. They are getting the job done. They are beating teams rather than the other teams beating themselves. Last year, the Eagles had a lot of wins where the other team were beating themselves. That's the difference. So when the team stopped beating themselves, the Eagles stopped winning. And when they played a better team, the Eagles got beat. Like the 49ers, rolling them. This season, that's not the case. The Eagles are beating the bullies. They're beating the Rams. Look what the Rams did against the Bills. Look what the Eagles did against the Ravens. So yeah, again, we can nitpick. And I'm all for that. Like I said in my previous videos. Like, I am all for that. And A.J. Brown, given that press conference, given his interview, I do not think that's a good look. Like, that's why you get paid all the money. To be a good leader. And it is. To call out and say, oh yeah, we need to pass more. It's like, bro, what are you doing right now? Don't be saying that nonsense. Like that, like it's not that hard. Control your emotions, man. You're a grown man. You're a father. Just stop. Yeah, obviously I'd love to be more involved. You know me, man. I want every game. I want to have 200 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns a game. That's just who I am. I love this game so much, and I live for the big plays. But I understand every game can't be like that. I'm excited we got the win. Obviously, we want to improve and get better. I think we do need to work on the passing game a little bit more. I think that'll make us a more threatening team come time playoffs. We're still obviously competing for the #1 seed. We got a big game going, against Pittsburgh. And, we'll see where we go from there. I just made that up right now. Didn't think more than a second about it. Just said it. That is infinitely better than whatever the heck A.J. Brown said. It doesn't even have to be true. Doesn't even have to be true. But he's going to sulk. Could you imagine getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars and sulking? Seriously, could you imagine that? You get to play football for a living. You win. You're 11-2. You're a top team in the NFL competing for the #1 seed. You went to the Super Bowl a couple of years and you're sulking. Where do you want to go? Go to another team. Look what happened to the Titans. I mean, what are your options right now? Are the Buffalo Bills winning Super Bowls? Are the Ravens winning Super Bowls? The only team that's winning Super Bowls is the Chiefs. If you wanted to go to the Chiefs, go to the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know what. Tyreek Hill still left because they can't afford to pay you the amount of money that you want. Go play for the Bengals. How's that working out? For Jamar Chase, huh? How's that working out? How many Super Bowls has Justin Jefferson been? How many? I want to know how many. How about the Dallas Cowboys? You like playing with Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy? How's that working out? How many NFC Championship games? How many playoff wins does CeeDee Lamb have? I want to know. Tell me. I mean, that's where it's enough of this nonsense. Go somewhere else then if you're so unhappy. If you want all the targets. If you want all the targets, go play for the Panthers. They'll throw to you. Bryce Young will throw to you all day. Good luck with that. Best of luck. Have at it. Go play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You and Trevor Lawrence will make magic. I mean, that's where it is frustrating and obnoxious. This is where it's like, be a man. Grow up. Man up. Be a leader. Make that C on your chest actually mean something. Not when it's convenient. Like they talk about free speech. Free speech only matters when you hear something that you don't want to hear. If it only mattered when you got to hear all the things that you like, then it's not actually free speech. And it's the same thing with being a leader and a captain and a man. It's easy to be a man when everything's going well for you. It's easy to be happy and say all the right things when you're catching touchdowns. But when you prove to be a real man, a real leader, you do it in moments like this. And this isn't even that hard because you just won 22-16 and you're 11-2. When it really shows up, when you're 8-8 and you just got beat by 14 and you say, yeah, that was a tough game. Obviously, we didn't do what we wanted to do offensively. Of course, I'd love to get more involved. I think I can help this team in different ways. But I believe in what we're able to do. I believe in Jalen. I believe in Kellen Moore. I love to see Saquon still get all those touches, and we'll find a way. I mean, and that's an example when you lose by 14. But you can't even put on a happy face when you're winning? It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown? Are they on funk watch? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.